Hey, what's up? I'm going to provide below this video a link to another channel that is just called Vegan in Japan. This video showing a demonstration in Tokyo actually was really emotionally moving to me the first time I saw it. And it may surprise you. I don't know. To some extent, it came as a surprise to me as well. It's just 6 minutes of footage with English translation of this vegan demonstration in Kyoto, Japan. Why did it affect me emotionally so much? For one thing, I really feel this sort of tragedy of miscommunication, the impossibility of reaching out to people and communicating such a simple and fundamental fact as, they say there in that protest very simply, you do not need fish to live. You don't need to eat fish to live. And that really moves me because I know the world is full of people. In Japan, probably the majority of people literally believe that a human being cannot live without eating fish. Like, really believe that. Not even in the sense of a religious belief. Because a religious belief is something you've been taught and you've thought about. At some point, you've questioned it. Nobody's an unquestioning believer in religion. A religious belief is articulated in a narrative, in a story. It's celebrated, But in the same level that people just, believe in wearing pants, there are people who believe in eating fish, that it's a daily necessity, that they can't do without it, that there's no other way for them to live. Even though, obviously, historically, there are so many examples. And I talked to someone here recently who really sincerely believed that human beings could not live without drinking cow's milk. And she's from China. And now I changed her mind. She actually said she was going to stop drinking cow's milk, which is interesting. So I guess I won. But it wasn't a hostile conversation. But she had really never questioned before. She's a fully grown adult. She's not a teenager. She's not a kid. But she was living her whole life really laboring under the delusion that human beings could not survive without cow's milk. Now, obviously, I can relate, I can understand. There are all these things packaged into it historically and culturally. But this is why this video is emotionally moving for me. It gets at the crux of both my optimism and also my feeling of hopelessness about human nature, about the future of planet Earth, certainly in both Canada and in Japan. The feeling of hopelessness that, this protest that's so well-intentioned and that's trying to reach out to people, it just seems impossible that someone standing on the sidewalk could possibly receive that message and actually challenge the deeply held belief that, oh, you know what? I don't need to eat fish to live. My grandparents were wrong. Everything I was taught as a child is wrong. That's exactly what you need to communicate. And yet it's so hard to do. And I've mentioned before in this channel, I really regard as a waste of time some of the specific protests and political activism we have here in Victoria. I don't understand why you would focus on horse-drawn carriages, the use of horses to pull a carriage to entertain tourists. Of all the issues within veganism, like honey is also very marginal. I do not eat honey. I do not support eating honey. But if I'm going to get involved in public education and activism, I want to challenge milk drinking. Like in Canadian culture, the belief in milk and dairy, to me, that's so fundamental, both to diet and ideology and even nationalism. And, this belief we have that the government should take taxpayers' money and subsidize and control the dairy industry. So the dairy industry is half private sector, half for profit. It's half this scam run by the Canadian government. justified by nationalism. We have to prevent the Americans from coming in and, controlling our dairy industry. Is idiocy. I mean, it's idiocy politically, it's idiocy nutritionally, it's idiocy environmentally and ecologically, but again, on that human level of individual people, when you talk to your own grandmother or you talk to a stranger on the street or whatever, in my case, someone I met at the university, you really do meet people who believe milk is necessary to life on Earth. And it's the simplest thing and yet the hardest thing to overcome that. But so I say, I don't want to be involved with protesting against honey, and I don't want to be involved in protesting against horses pulling carriages. For one thing, just because it's marginal. It's not central to veganism. It's not central to social change. But also because I'm still optimistic. I'm still optimistic that human beings can change, at least 5% of us, if they just learn, if they just find out where milk comes from, what milk is, and that it's fundamentally unnecessary to human life. It's the simplest and most fundamental public education challenge. But at least 5% of people have got to be smart enough and principled enough to put those pieces together, to put the pieces of the puzzle together and see the bigger picture. And then within those 5%, I hope there's at least 1% who will be motivated by that, to want to see a broader and deeper social change. And that's what I want to connect with. And I mean, my heart goes out to, and my heart breaks for this kind of street protest. But ultimately, the question is this the way that I can reach that minority within a minority? Or is this the way that I can tackle that huge challenge of public education? I just say, for me, I'm going to provide you with a link to that video. For me, that's kind of the emotional underpinnings of what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking about when I look at such a simple and pure example of people trying to deliver that message to a crowd. You don't need fish to live. You don't need milk to live. When I was in Cambodia, I met people who literally thought they had to who thought they had to eat meat every meal, who thought they could not skip eating meat for just one meal. I saw that in France once also, only once, saw a family, where this guy was horrified. He was flabbergasted at the thought of feeding his children a single meal that did not contain any meat. Where, the illusion runs that deep. And my optimism is that for some of these people, even if it's just 5%, the disillusionment can run that deep also. And that disillusionment can lead to mobilization, motivation, social and political change.
Yo, you hear that sound? Oh, that's your God, man. Yeah, I'm back. That's my word, it's going down, man. Watch my voice, man. Different from other cats' voices, man. Remember that, man. Different flows, man. Hey yo, lace these niggas with fire. You been away for a minute, heard your style got flyer. Yo, hold on, the sword got heavy. Universal caught on, now it's time to take over the medley. Plus stand firm,